Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Mike Gastin, and again, I am joined by Chad Rieflin, the Director of Programs and Grants for the Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Rochester, New York. Chad, thanks again for being with me.
Good to be back.
So we are here to help entrepreneurs and would-be entrepreneurs to crush it with their credit, to get their arms around their credit, to become experts. And the last two episodes are fantastic. I'm really grateful for some of the stuff that you shared. And interestingly enough, I've been in business. I've owned my own business, like various business, for over 20 years. And I sat down thinking, well, I'm probably going to know a lot of the tips that we're talking about. And on both of them, I learned something. So thank you. This is good stuff.
Well, let's keep helping people crush it.
All right, let's do it.
Like
So the last two, we talked a little bit about how your personal finances impact and can impact your business, and some things you can do to kind of get ahead of the curve on that. We also talked about looking at credit histories, the 3 resources available, and some aspects around that. I guess right now the question is, how do I access? We've got these 3 reports out there. How do I access them? Does it cost money? Is this an involved process? Can you share a little bit about that?
Thankfully, it's much easier than one would assume, but there's some potholes to watch out for along the way that we're going to hopefully address here. The source that we'd like to point people to is annualcreditreport.com.
Annualcreditreport.com. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Is that a product that you guys have, or?
No, so this was the website that was established back when the laws changed that gave us free access to our credit reports once every year.
Okay.
The way that the law is written is we actually have access to each of our 3 credit reports, which was Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion.
Okay.
Once every 12 months.
Okay.
And we're able to access those reports through that website, which is a portal to those providers.
Okay. So it's annualcreditreport.com. We can access all 3 of them once a year, and you can do that through this portal.
Correct. One of the ways that we advise people to do that as well is to space those out every 4 months.
Okay.
That way you can use this as a tool to monitor what's happening every 4 months, check out to see if there's anything that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I like that.
That needs to be disputed, and make sure there's nothing going on that could be fraudulent or related to identity theft.
So what I'm doing is I'm going to start with Experian, then 4 months later I might hit, is it TransUnion?
Correct.
And then we'll hit the last. Okay, so that's really clever. And then you've got a full year where you kind of know what's going on, and you just start that cycle all over again.
Next time.
Yeah, that's really smart. That's great. And what else about that? I mean, I can see them every 12 months. I'm pulling the report, one of them every 4 months, and looking through. What else should the viewers know about this that maybe isn't obvious?
So the thing that they'll want to make sure that they have a good handle on is the information that they have used to sign up for credit or engage in any kind of credit contract within the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. That's probably going to be the information that this system uses to identify their credit report.
Okay.
So if you put in an address into the system that might be your current address, but you really haven't used that to apply for credit or to obtain any kind of an account in the past 2 years, the system might have difficulty identifying your credit report.
Right.
So you got to kind of think back to that last address, set of personal information that you were using.
Are there other things that we should be looking for? I pull a report. I've got it in front of me, either on my monitor or I printed it out. What else should I be looking for besides inconsistencies or things that don't look correct?
Right. So duplication of accounts. Okay. Every once in a while, a creditor might change their system.
Yeah.
Or the formatting of an account number is different, and now the system thinks it's a completely different account. Happens less often nowadays, but it does still occur.
It's interesting too. I don't know if this is the case, but I think about things like even how we apply for jobs these days. Now, of course, everyone watching is an entrepreneur, so you would never work a 9 to 5. That's not true, but most entrepreneurs are working a 9 to 5
got a side
and
gig.
Yeah, exactly. But even now, the way we apply for jobs, a lot of that is systematized and computerized. So where I may have put my application in to a human being, and then they looked at it and decided, should we bring Mike in? Now machines are going through and checking, and if there's an inconsistency, they're just kicking your application off to the side. So I'm curious, like when it comes to something like a credit report, where maybe there's an account number that doesn't line up, or or can that hang someone up more because of the way things are automated, or is that really not an issue?
It could, and that's why it's so important to talk about this and for people to access the reports on a regular basis like we're
Yeah.
mentioning now, because then those things can be disputed right through the annual credit report system. And each
Okay.
of the credit reporting websites, they have a process where people can dispute those inaccuracies and things they find that should not be reported the way they are.
Sure.
And by law, has to be addressed.
Okay, good stuff. So if I find something that's not quite right, I can use the annualcreditreport.com system to dispute it. I don't have to go to TransUnion directly. I can, but I can use that clearinghouse
You
to
can
do all
use
that.
that portal to get to that
Fantastic.
process,
Cool.
exactly.
Chad, this is excellent. I appreciate you taking some time to explain this, and I'm looking forward. I think we're going to talk a little bit in our next episode about credit scores. Is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna get into the real nuts and bolts.
The
exciting
FICO.
stuff, the
Yeah.
FICO score and all that good stuff.
I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Yeah, no, this is great. Chad, thanks so much. Guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure to give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be doing a couple more of these, so I would love for you to keep learning along with me as we get a little bit more savvy around credit and entrepreneurship. Guys, thanks so much for your time. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.
next time.
Cheers.